Dive into the enigmatic world of the Vedic civilization, a society that existed thousands of years ago. Their lifestyle was simple, their homes were wooden, and their food habits were derived from what their surroundings offered. But have you ever wondered about the dietary choices of these ancient people? Did they consume animal meat, or were they strictly vegetarian? The answers are buried in the Vedic scriptures and the archaeological findings, yet they are not as straightforward as one might think. It can have many explanations, but three interpretations seem promising. The first interpretation is based on the Vedic ideology. The Vedas, written in Sanskrit, contain words like Pashu Bali and Yagna, which when translated literally, suggest animal sacrifice as part of religious ceremonies. However, delve deeper into the spiritual essence of the Vedic language and a different picture emerges. Pashu Bali, for instance, symbolizes the sacrifice of animal instincts such as greed and anger. Similarly, Yagna represents the mode of offering these sacrifices. Take the Ashvamedha Yagya, or the horse sacrifice ritual. On the surface, it might seem like a gruesome act of animal slaughter. However, the word Ashva refers to both the soul and the nation. Ashvamedha Yagya is believed to symbolize the purification of the soul and the strengthening of the nation, so these terms are metaphorical and don't necessarily imply non-vegetarianism, as these scriptures were verbally passed down through generations before being written down in the first millennium CE. The interpretation of these verses could have evolved over time. The second interpretation, presented by historians and archaeologists, paints a different picture. Archaeological excavities and texts suggest the consumption of animal meat during the Vedic era. Evidence of slaughterhouses, descriptions of animal types slaughtered for food or rituals, and references to 3 types of yajna, including one that involved animal sacrifice, all point towards a non-vegetarian diet. Physical remnants, such as charred or cut bone fragments of various animals such as sheep, deer, pigs, fish, river turtles, dogs, and such wild animals as leopards and blue deer, further support this view. Relatively little was known about the cooking technique of the time. The meat was roasted on spits, perhaps over charcoal, or was cooked in liquid in the clay pot. Yet, the Vedic era also saw the emergence of the doctrine of Ahimsa, or non-violence, which opposed animal sacrifice. The earliest reference to non-violence toward animals, Pashu Ahimsa, apparently in the moral sense, is in the Kapisthala Katha Samhita of Yajurveda, written about 1500–1200 BCE. The scriptures started advocating for quieting the act of killing, leading to the use of flower figures as a substitute for animal victims. Over time, ahimsa rose to prominence as the highest virtue, leading to a shift in dietary habits towards vegetarianism, or sattva, and less towards non-vegetarianism, or tamasic. In conclusion, the Vedic people's food habits and lifestyle are open to interpretation, depending on one's perspective. Whether one leans towards the spiritual interpretation of the Vedas or the archaeological evidence, it's clear that the Vedic civilization's dietary habits evolved over time, influenced by both religious beliefs and societal changes.